Jazz 88.3 and the new Jazz Thing. Music there from Rondi, Charleston, the new disc In My Life, and we're listening to one of the original compositions on the disc. It's called Telescope. Rondi Johnson joins us. Rondi Charleston. Is everybody called Rondi? Is there? I wonder if there is a Rondi Johnson.
I'm sure there is. Somewhere out there.
Rondi Charleston is in the studios this evening at Jazz 88, and she's playing tomorrow night at Dizzy's. You take that cue very well. Dizzy's here in San Diego. The show starts at 8. You can find out about that and other things at jazz88.org on the Jazz calendar. So thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
Have you played San Diego before?
No, this is my first time. Actually, this is the first time I've ever even been to San Diego, and it's so gorgeous.
Oh, nice weather today, too.
Really? It's beautiful. I want to move here.
Excellent. And so you were talking about having a child and Telescope being about some of the uncertainty of parenthood. How is being a parent when you're an artist that has to go on tour and do things like this?
Well, it's interesting. My daughter is now 11, and she's a very talented singer and very artistic. And all of a sudden, I was very sort of like, oh, Mom. She was embarrassed of me until just recently when all of her girlfriends in middle school started saying, your mom went to Juilliard? Wow, your mom is so cool.
Oh, wow.
So I've gone from, my stock has risen.
Really?
Recently, because I was really, like the dork, like, Mom, please, you're embarrassing me, to now, Mom, I guess you actually might be cool.
So that's good that you're on the cool list. That's great. Tell us a little bit about we talked about how you're kind of making a move back to jazz. You were involved in theater and classical music, right?
I was.
So how does that inform what you do in the jazz world?
Well, it gives me great discipline and focus, but there's a lot that I had to unlearn. Because the last thing you want is to hear classical sound, seeping into jazz. I don't want to hear that. I don't, when I hear the crossover music, some opera singers try to do these pop records, and I'm sorry, there might be brilliant classical singers, but not naming any names, but I just don't want to hear it, I want it to be natural and organic, and so I had to let go of a lot of that training, which was fine with me.
Well, tell us a little bit about, we talked about some more exploration of pop music and some of those things, bringing them in. Are there other projects that you're working on that people may be able to know a little bit more about?
Yeah, there's a song that I wrote with the brilliant pianist Lynn Ariel, and it's called Song for the Ages, and it's climbing the AC charts, and it was written and inspired by the acceptance speech that Barack Obama gave in Grant Park in my hometown of Chicago back in November, and I just tried to capture some of that feeling of hope and excitement and unity that occurred on that night, and I wanted to just try to capture it and hold on to it and hopefully inspire people, when times get tough, so they can listen to this song and feel a little better and feel that there is hope, which indeed there is.
Right. So how did you get involved in that? Was that just your inspiration, and then you kind of brought in
you never know where a song's going to come from. You just never know. I didn't plan on it. It just happened. I was really so moved that night, and really by the whole campaign. But I just penned it that night, and I called up Lynn like the next day and said, I've got a new song for you, and she wrote the melody in 2 days, and it just came together. And then we got my producer Susie Reynolds rounded up a stellar team of first-rate musicians and got them all in the studio like the day before Christmas, because we knew we had to record it fast, and we recorded it really fast, and it came out really, really well. And you can see it on YouTube and download it on iTunes, and it's catching on.
Yeah, I posted, I embedded it into the newjazzthing.com, the video, I guess the making of.
Right, there was a video made. Entertainment Tonight came and filmed the actual recording session.
That was excellent. Well, remind us again where you're playing tomorrow and who's with you, because the lineup is stellar.
Right, we got a stellar band. We're going to be at Dizzy's tomorrow night, 8 o'clock set, one set only, I hear. Long set though, so it'll be meaty. We've got Joel Fromm on tenor. We've got Pete Levin on keyboards, the great Pete Levin. We've got the great Jay Lenhart on bass, Alvester Garnett on drums, and then for you guitar lovers, we have the hot Dave Stryker on guitar.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we've got queued up to play to end things here. Shall We Dance, the Gershwin Brothers collaboration.
Actually, Rodgers and Hammerstein, that's a typo, sorry.
Really?
sorry. It is Rodgers and Hammerstein.
Check
From
that out.
The King and I.
Oh,
Or not,
excellent.
But
That's right.
A really hip take on a standard.
So, just anything in particular about the tune that made you select it?
Oh, just imagine Deborah Carr and Yul Brynner after a few glasses of wine.
Excellent. Well, Rondi, it's been a total pleasure to meet you and to have you hanging out here on the show. When the next one comes out, come on back and we'll hang out again and chat about it.
My pleasure.
Rondi Charleston, our guest here on the New Jazz Thing. She's playing Dizzy's San Diego tomorrow. You can find out about that and all kind of other things at jazz88.org. This is Shall We Dance on the New Jazz Thing, Jazz 88.3. Okay. Excellent. All right, let's stop.